Middle Claydon is in the northern and very flat region of Buckinghamshire. Part of the Aylesbury Vale district, it lies some 15 kilometres north of the town of Aylesbury. It is also only a few kilometres from Waddesdon, which is home of the very grand and popular Waddesdon Manor, another National Trust property. Starting in the parkland grounds of Claydon House, we make our way north-eastwards across crop fields and amongst fluffy white sheep towards the old disused Buckinghamshire Railway. Crossing the railway track, open views of the countryside lead us towards the tranquil settings of Steeple Claydon, which is defined by its prominent church steeple, which can be seen on approach from miles around. Many more picturesque open flatlands present ample photo opportunities as we begin to close the loop and head back towards Claydon House.
Hi and welcome to another episode of Jay's Walks. Today we're keeping in the theme of Buckinghamshire, but we're starting our walk in the lovely parkland grounds of the National Trust property, Claydon House.
Claydon has been the ancestral home to the Verney family since 1620. The Church of All Saints lies less than 50 yards from the house and contains many memorials to the Verney family, among them Sir Edmund Verney, who was chief standard bearer to King Charles I during the English Civil War. The original house was rebuilt by Ralph II Earl Verney between 1757 and 1771. The house as it stands today, with its rather austere presence, is a fraction of its original planned size. What remains today is the west wing, which at one time had an identical twin, which contained the ballroom and other state apartments. Claydon Park are the grounds surrounding the property and has several public footpaths running through it, so it makes for a day in itself to wander through and explore. As often is the case with many walks, footpaths are not always clearly defined, so bringing detailed mapping, such as a 125k scale Ordnance Survey map, can pay dividend in getting your bearings. After leaving the confines of Claydon Park, it becomes apparent just how open the walk is. Crossing field after field with unobscured panoramic views gives a good sense of freedom, but does expose one to the elements. This very flat walk will take you across the now disused Buckinghamshire Railway, which last saw action in 1966 when it was closed to all traffic due to budget cuts and the rerouting of trains. We crossed the railway again later in the walk, so if you're photographically inclined, it makes for some nice photo opportunities. As we leave the railway behind us, we pass through several more crop fields, giving us plenty of time to take in the panoramic views of the beautiful surroundings. Up until waypoint 6 at least, the footpaths are very clearly defined, leading us the way towards St Michael's Church, which incidentally is a good place to stop for lunch.
I demand demand nothing more. Nothing more than to hold me tight. There's only one thing I'm sure of.
Well, I've been lucky enough to choose a lovely day. Clouds looked a bit threatening at the beginning, but it's a very quiet walk. Haven't seen anybody apart from two landowners, where I almost went off the public footpath and onto their property, but caught myself just in time. And so far, a lovely walk. Very peaceful, serene, and just enjoying this good weather.
I demand nothing more. Nothing more than to hold me tight. There's only one thing I'm sure of.
Steeple Claydon lies some 12 miles northwest of Aylesbury, and evidence suggests that the earliest settlers and creation of the village began around 660 AD on a site close to St Michael's Church. The name Claydon is of Anglo-Saxon origin, meaning clay hill, with the steeple part of the village name thought to have been added in recognition of the prominent steeple of the 14th century St Michael's Church, which you can see clearly here in the background.
Lots of open views on this walk, and but the thing with being so open, obviously it's very windy, so good idea to take a jumper, something warm, even on a warm day.
We soon begin our return path, passing through allotments and then into some more outstanding countryside. As many of these fields are void of any farm animals, a choice of lunch stop, should you prefer, can be chosen further on. We crossed the Buckinghamshire Railway a second time, but strangely the track looks even older than it did before, almost as if we're stepping back in time. A walk along the railway, I'm sure, would make an interesting one, but today it's across more open crop fields and back into Middle Claydon. This particular walk, as I'm told by some of the landowners, doesn't see too many walkers, so it's not surprising to find, or not to find, gates and leadways often overgrown with brambles and vegetation. Some of the footbridges and stiles can be hidden too, some, such as this one, having deep ditches where you may not see them, so it's worth being extra vigilant when crossing them. Here it got rather interesting. After spending some time wandering around, reading and then reading again the route instructions, I just wasn't able to apply them to the location I was in. Did I misread them, or were they incorrect? Either way, short of going back on myself, there was only one way out of here, and that was dead ahead towards the road, which of course I did. However, and despite there being no sidewalk, walking on flat tarmac made for a gentler and speedier walk to the finish, which was just as well because just off camera there were storm clouds brewing.
Oh, waypoint 9, and this signifies the end of the walk. A very open walk, lovely views, and because it is open, it's a good idea to take, a jumper or so, something a little bit warm. Fantastic views on this one. It's very flat as well, so it's fairly easy going on the legs. A wonderful walk. Thanks for watching. See you next time.